Hello, this is how you do it. You don't take on clients who hate you. That's so bad. It's like dating someone who hates you. Why would you do that?
Because people don't understand things.
Well, we out here dropping knowledge. Hi there, and welcome back to enVisioning Success. I am your hostess with the mostest, Laura DiBenedetto. I am joined by the incredibly cute little Miss Daisy Poo Poo. She's my little tiny puppy, 12 weeks old, and she is not being babysat by daddy right now, so she gets to sit with mommy. And you know what? I'm the CEO of this company. I do what I want.
I do what I want. We're also a very animal-friendly company.
Oh, we are. Like, my favorite thing is when we have a Zoom call and it's like everybody holds up their furry pal. It's like, yay! That's my fave. Or a child. Thank you, Katrina. Anyway, my lovely co-hostess with the also the mostest is Julia Becker Collins, and she is the COO of our company. We love her. And today we are in a continuation of the last episode. We were talking about taking whatever walks in the door and why you shouldn't do that. Today we're going to be talking about pretending that bad clients are a systems problem and how you need to stop doing that. And I'm going to tell you straight up right now, you don't have a process problem. You have a people problem. Your SOPs are not broken. Your intake process is wide open to entitled, needy, and completely unqualified energy vampires. Well, bust out your garlic and crosses because we're done. We're not doing that. No more vampires. So the thing that we want to help you do in this episode, the last one, the next two, is we're all about helping you say no to the wrong clients because we want to help you say yes to the right clients because that's how you can scale your company. You want to hit those 7 and 8 figure goals? Hello, this is how you do it. You don't take on clients who hate you. That's so bad. It's like dating someone who hates you. Why would you do that?
Because people don't understand things.
Well, we out here dropping knowledge. So, Julie, why don't you lead us off with number one?
Oh boy. Okay. Number one, this week we have hot takes rather than actionable tips, kind of like last week. So our first hot take truth is you can't out-system bad judgment. No CRM, project management software, funnel, email automation, et cetera, can save you from saying yes to the wrong person. Getting a client from hell, as we call them, is not going to be solved by getting a Salesforce subscription. It's not going to solve the problem. It might make documenting the problem easier, but it's not going to solve the problem. And as somebody who was a Salesforce administrator for a while, you're going to have other problems. You can't add to your tech stack and expect it to solve a human issue. It's the same with not just bad clients. If you have a bad employee, it's not going to solve the bad employee by adding more technical aspects to the company. You have a human problem that you need to solve.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of this, I mean, this is a show that is put on by marketers. So this is something that you could solve with, marketing. We talked about it in the last episode. You can absolutely put it out there to the world, either overtly or subtly, who you are great for and who you are not great for. That way you never have to deal with your systems trying to catch the bad fit. And ultimately, I mean, depending on how you sell things, if you sell things online, but you have the person that always wants to return stuff and they take issue and, they're causing you to have like huge losses because they keep returning your products, that sucks. You don't want them. So you want to attract better clients. If you have a service business and it's a very high end service like medical injection molding, for example, we have a client that does that. You can't afford to take on a client from hell. It could bankrupt your company. So you have to be very clear during the marketing process, but also the sales process, and have the courage, both as the business owner, but also a salesperson or representative of the company, to say no, because none of the things that we're talking about here, the CRMs, funnels, and emails, and all the yada yada, judgment is still part of this. And this is the fun part. Everybody's like, oh, AI is going to take our jobs. Bullshit. Doesn't know how to do judgment yet or discernment. And once it does, then we're in trouble. But for now, it doesn't.
The intelligence in AI is negligible. We talked about this in a previous episode, that if you think AI is going to be your best friend for marketing and can do all of your marketing, you are sorely mistaken. You need to have a human interacting with it for it to
Yeah,
work.
exactly. So I don't know what episode that was, but hey, listen, we love AI. We use it all the time. It's an awesome tool. It's an awesome helper. It is not an
Yes.
awesome replacement.
Right.
So
It's like having a really great intern.
yeah,
That's
we
it.
love interns. We love contributing to them. We love when they help us with cool stuff, but they're never going to replace an expert.
No, absolutely not. And it's still learning. So you have to participate in the process. What
Exactly.
is number 2?
Numero dos. Stop blaming delivery when it's actually sales. So think about this carefully as I say this to you. The chaos starts the moment you let the wrong person through the door. The reason for that, you're going to be blaming yourself. Oh no, we onboarded this wrong, or oh no, they weren't happy, yada, yada, yada. No, the chaos starts when you let the wrong people through. It doesn't mean that these are bad people. These are not moral judgments. Once again, we said that in the last episode. These are not moral judgments. It's just not a good fit. It's okay for people not to be a fit. But when someone isn't a fit, what does that look like for your company? Does that look like they complain about everything? They have emotional reactions to everything? They micromanage everything? What does that look like for you with the wrong person? And I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about if you've been in business for more than 2 minutes. When you onboard the wrong person, boy, do you know it.
Mm-hmm. And this also goes down to like, what are you telling your sales team? Are you saying get anything you can and you're just motivating them in that way? And so they're going to close things that are terrible? Or are you working with them to close the right kind of client? I worked at an agency that had a big sales force and they were close anything you can. And it didn't matter if it was a fit. And then they would blame the operations people and the delivery people if it went wrong. And it's like, no, there was no pleasing this person. And this is so outside the wheelhouse of what we do. And it's costing us more than we're making. And there's zero profit margin. But congratulations on making the sale.
Yeah. You know, with the business model that we have, like we're in the business of taking less clients, but keeping them for like decades. It's extremely important that we are very discerning with what we do. I mean, if you're selling something for like, you know, 2 seconds and it's not really a big deal and you're just selling like a widget and there's no Yelp or whatever, it probably matters a little bit less. But even ice cream, you know, somebody could complain. I don't know who the hell would complain about ice cream. I'm a
Oh,
big
they
fan.
do.
Julia's more of a fan of like artisanal fancy pants ice cream. I'm an equal opportunity ice cream enthusiast. If it is ice cream, I probably love it. So,
It's also like, if I'm not an ice cream person, so I'm not going to go to an ice cream place and it's being self aware.
right. But let's say in the case of ice cream, if you piss someone off, are they going to instantly run to Yelp and complain about your business? You know, you want to, I mean, honestly, like I did Sandler sales training years ago, and I remember one of the things that they taught in there about equal business stature. You start on the same footing.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things that, you know, grossed me out about that dude that was trying to get on my calendar. Yesterday it was just like, ew, you're treating me like I'm subservient and I need to dance for you. Absolutely not. Like this doesn't
Dance
feel
monkey
respectful.
dance.
Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Number 3, bureaucracy is a band aid for lack of boundaries. It's, very illiterate. I love that. You're layering tech and trying to figure out solutions and templates to avoid doing the hard thing, which is saying no. I understand that saying no can be really difficult for people, but you need
Yeah.
to learn to embrace it rather than trying to avoid it by trying to find a quote unquote another solution. Just learn how to say no.
This is where AI is actually really super useful.
Exactly.
It can help you write no thank you email that sounds like it came out of HR if you're that person, or if it's more warm and you want to preserve the relationship and not burn it down. AI is really good at doing that. You can farm out that dirty work if you want to. That's not bureaucracy, but you still got to be a big kid and you still got to say no.
Mhm. I promise you, I understand it's scary, but you'll feel great afterwards. And
I bet
suddenly it'll
that.
be a lot easier.
Hmm. Number four is, well, this one's near and dear to my heart. Your red flags list should be an actual wall. It's a firm barrier, not just a nice to have list of, yeah, it would be nice if these people didn't have these qualities. No, they can't have these qualities. So you would need to figure out non negotiables for you. And honestly, you have to really get good with the idea that they mean nothing if you override them to be nice. The purpose of a boundary is to protect you and to
Mhm.
define how a relationship is going to actually function. So when you're outlining what works for you and you trespass upon your own boundaries, you kind of have no right to get mad at somebody else for doing the thing that you showed them how to do.
Mhm. I had somebody say to me that just because those are my boundaries doesn't mean they're their boundaries. And so they didn't need to respect them. And I was like,
Hard no.
ma'am, ma'am, I don't think you understand what that word means.
Yeah. No, 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 no.
Good times. Number 5, client experience is easier when you like them. Oh, so true. If you really don't like your client, then you are going to struggle working with them and helping
Yep.
them and being nice to them and going above and beyond for them. If you dread getting their emails, you really messed up even before onboarding. I always say this when I talk about ideal client because ideal client should also be honestly somebody you want to work with. Doesn't need to be your best friend. You
But
don't
someone
need
whose
to.
company you like.
Correct. We have a client who has been a client for over a decade. She's not a huge client, but she's great. It's a very profitable account. And she asks for nothing, ever, nothing. But when she does, I am more than happy to go above and beyond for her, beyond the scope of what she pays for, because A, that's just good customer service.
Yeah.
And B, she is lovely to deal with, just like the nicest person who thanks you for everything and just is so appreciative and oh, the best. And it's like I'm always happy to take
I
her
know
call.
her. I love
Always.
her.
Oh, I love her.
So the fun thing about New England, one of the things that actually like burnt me out kind of prematurely in my career is mm, I do love New England honesty, but what I don't love is New England lack of gratitude. A lot of people in New England looking at you, mass holes, and I say this as a former mass hole myself, uh, expect that because you're paying for something, manners no longer matter. That is a very typical behavior in Massachusetts, and it drives me absolutely batshit insane. Like, no, no, I could be paying someone top dollar. I'm still going to be, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. May I please? Da 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 da. Like, I don't understand when bad manners became like the vogue thing to do, but it's just not cool. So the whole thing about client experience and actually liking someone, oh my God, it's so true. Like we have a number of clients that I absolutely love. Our pals out in the country, I absolutely love hearing from them. They're fun to talk to. And listen, like for me, the metric is when you call me and I am so excited to shoot the shit with you for like 10 minutes. And then there's 1 minute of, oh, hey, can you do the thing? Psh, yeah, I got you. Like, to me, that's like, I want to sell to that person because it's
Exactly.
fun to serve that person. They don't take advantage of you, you know? Like, as my
Also,
dad
just
says,
like
it's mo
even if
better.
somebody ends up leaving, you keep that relationship and you keep that good relationship. They could come back, they could refer business. You enjoy spending time with them. Like it doesn't need to be a struggle.
No, no, it doesn't. I mean, I remember bringing on, like this was years before I met you, like bringing on, the anybody's and everybody's. And well, it was very hard for me to scale the business at that point because I didn't know any better. But then I started bringing on clients that I really, really liked.
Yep.
And it was actually like, it was a big difference. It was easier communication. It was more profitable. And when you have good affinity, you can actually have hard conversations like, hey, we noticed that you're really burning through your hours. We're going to have to send you a pretty large invoice if the things don't slow down. So either we slow down or the big invoice, you tell me. With the wrong client, that conversation is going to go sideways fast. With the right client, they'll be like, oh, ooh, yeah. I would never want to take advantage, so let's just do this. Great.
Right.
It's that, I mean, that whole equal business stature. Hats off to you, Sandler. So, yep, big fan. So, this episode has been all about pretending bad clients are a systems problem. They really aren't. Um, we're really focusing heavy here on helping you to reach those 7 and 8 figure goals for your business. They're not just, nice to have benchmarks. A business that can make it to 7 figures can scale. A business that struggles to do 7 figures, it's got some issues, right? So, and a business that makes it to 8 figures is more likely to make it to 9 figures. So, all of these things get factored in when we're saying this stuff. It's not just a vanity metric of like, oh, we just want to do that, and oh, and now I'm rich. No, it's about building systems that actually work. So, the next episode is going to be talking about how marketing plays into all of this and how it should both push and pull. And you want that. People don't think they want that because they're trying to be nice. And nope, we're going to help you to make some really solid decisions with that. So if you haven't done it already, we would love it if you could rate, review, or subscribe to the show. Please tell a friend, because how else are we going to get more people to know about all this great stuff if you don't tell anybody? Huh? Anywho, Julia's laughing at me. She's like, Laura's crazy. What's wrong with her?
My head still hurts, so sounds great to me.
Sorry about the ice pick in the eyeball, man.
Right here. It's right here.
Ugh, brutal. Well, we'll let you out of your misery. But in the next episode, we're going to have a lot more fun at your expense. Ha! Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll see you on the next episode.